Hi, let me show you some common mistakes among students, both high school and others. Now, first of all, I'll be calling that from my phone because I have a note of that here. Now, the first mistake is confusing the base of a power. So let's go there. Confusing the base of a power. Now, for example, you see students to solve, if you ask them to give you the answer to minus 7 squared, we already know that when the power is even, it is this general knowledge that your answer is supposed to be positive when you have even power. Alright? But the truth remains that it depends on the nature of the question. Now, in this case, some students will say the answer is minus 7 multiplied by minus 7, which is 49. But this is wrong. First of all, let us analyze this very well. If you analyze this very well, you will notice that minus 7 is same thing as minus 1 multiplied by 7. And the square is actually on 7 alone. Now you have minus 1 multiplied by 49, and that will give you minus 49. But if the question is minus 7 squared, in this case, both your negative and your 7 are squared. So that way you're going to have minus 7 multiplied by minus 7, and that way you have minus times minus is plus, and 7 times 7 is 49. And there you have it, positive. So always look out for this bracket, and when it is not there, please the answer is negative of whatever you are going to get. And that is the first mistake. Now the second mistake, incorrect cancelling of terms in a fraction. Incorrect cancelling of terms in a fraction. In a fraction. Now, for example, you have 2x plus 2 divided by 2. And some students will say, oh, okay, this 2 will cancel this 2 and we are left with 2x. That is our answer. But this is wrong. Some might say 2x plus 2 divided by 2. Oh, this 2 will cancel this, and my answer is x plus 2. And this is wrong as well. Now I'm going to show you the two ways of doing this. So we have 2x plus 2 divided by 2. Now anytime you have a common denominator, okay, it means that you can distribute this denominator for the two numbers you have as your numerator. So we can solve this as 2x divided by 2 plus 2 divided by 2. So that way, 2 we divide 2 and we have what? 1. 1 times x is x plus 2 we divide 2 and we have 1. And your answer is x plus 1. Another way you can solve this is 2x plus 2 divided by 2 is equal to, now you can see that we can factorize 2 out from the numerator. So write 2, or you can say that 2 is the common factor. 2x divided by 2 is x plus 2 divided by 2 is 1. Everything divided by 2. Now these 2 can now cancel the 1 outside, and you are left with your final answer, which is x plus 1. Now similarly, there is a similar question. For example, you have xy is equal to 4x. Some students will say x will cancel x and we have y is equal to 4. But this is wrong, because when you look at this question, our answer is not y equals 4. That is not the only answer here. So solving it by dividing both sides by x will actually give you only one out of the two results. So what then do you do? We have xy is equal to 4x. Transfer this to the other side. When you do that, you have xy minus 4x is equal to 0. Then you factorize x. X will come out. Now xy divided by x will give you y minus 4x divided by x will give you 4, right? Minus 4x divided by x is minus 4 is equal to 0. Now remember guys that when you say that a multiplied by b is 0, it's either a is equal to 0 or b is equal to 0 or both are zeros. So that way we can say that it's either x is equal to 0 or y minus 4 is 0. So that way x equals 0 and y equals 4. And this is the right way to solve this. Please, if this is the first time you are coming across this channel, click the subscription button and turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss our amazing videos, alright? Tune in at your convenience. There must be something new for you to watch by the grace of God. Give us a thumbs up if you love what we are doing. Thank you. Now, the next mistake, or will I say common mistake, is distributing a negative term. Distributing a negative term. Now, for example, you see a student solve this like this. A question says 8 minus 4 bracket x minus 2. Now, the student will say 8 minus 4 times x is 4x. Then 4 times minus 2 is minus 8. Yes, that's what some of them do. Now they will say 8 minus 8. We collect like terms. 8 minus 8 is 0. And we now have 0 minus 4x. And they will say, Auntie, the answer is minus 4x. And this is wrong. Now, some of them will go to the extent of doing this. 8 minus 4 is 5. So you have 5 brackets x minus 2. 5 times x is 5x. And 5 times minus 2 is minus 10. So we even go to the extent of just say, let me factorize this for Auntie so that she will be happy. She will do the factorization. So 5x divided by 5 is x. Minus 10 divided by 5 is 2. And she will be very happy, jumping that he or she has gotten the results. But this is wrong. Now, what is wrong with this? Remember your order of operations, your BODMAS, your pendants. It says that you must multiply before you subtract. So in this case, this person first of all subtracted before multiplying, and that is against the order of operation. Now, this is what you are meant to do. When you have this type of question, all you need to do is this. 8, this minus 4 is what is multiplying the whole bracket. You are multiplying the whole bracket with minus 4. So we are going to have minus 4 times x will give us minus 4x. And minus 4 times minus 2 will give us plus 8. Then you collect your like terms. 8 plus 8 minus 4x. 8 plus s is 16 minus 4x. Then you can do your factorization because you can see that both 16 and 4x has 4 in common. Because 16 is 4 multiplied by 4 and this is 4 multiplied by x. So if I bring out 4, I will have 4 remaining here and x remaining here. And this becomes my answer. This is correct and this is also perfect. So that is the number 3 mistake. I don't know, number 3 or 4. All right. Now, the next mistake is multiplying the base of a power. Multiplying the base of a power. Multiplying the base of a power. For example, you have this question. 2 multiplied by 3 to the power of x equals 36. Some of them will say, oh, this is very easy. Very, very easy. I will just say 2 times 3 is 6. So we have 6 to the power of x is equal to 36. Oh, this is easy. 6 to the power of 1 is 6. 6 to the power of 2 is 36. Therefore, my x must be equal to 2. and this is wrong. Now you don't multiply the base and this together. That is absolutely wrong. When you are faced with this, the first thing you need to do is to remove this constant. And how do you do that? By dividing both sides by 2. So when you do that, you have divided by 2 divided by 2. These two, remove these two, we have 3 to the power of x is equal to 18. Now at this point, assuming this can be raised to can be written as 3 to the power of something, we would have done that and equated the powers. But in this case, the only option you have is to introduce log in order to bring down this x. So you introduce log to both sides. So you have log 3 to the power of x is log what? 18. Now when you have power in this form, you bring the power to multiply this. So you have x log 3 is equal to log 18. So to get x, you divide both sides by log 3. So you have x log 3 divided by log 3 is equal to log 18 divided by log 3. Okay? So this, remove this, you have x equals log 18 divided by log 3, which can be written as log 18 base 3. Then you can go ahead and simplify if possible. Okay? Now, this is the main thing. Do not multiply the base. Don't. Alright. Now, another interesting and common mistake. It's not interesting anyway, because as a teacher, we don't enjoy it. So this is another common mistake that some of our students make. So some of them neglecting the negative sign while multiplying or dividing. Yes, I get this a lot. When you give a student something like this, minus 3x equals 9, the student will say, okay, divide by 3, divide by 3. He has already forgotten that there is a negative sign there. And the person will gladly tell you, answer is 3. What happened to the negative sign? He or she will be looking at you. Now, this is how to go about this. Minus 3x equals 9. Yes, you have to divide by 3. But don't forget this negative sign. Remember that your intention is to remove anything that is attached to your x. What you need is x. You don't need any other thing attached to it. So because what is attached to x is minus 3, we are removing it completely. And the only way to remove it completely is to divide both sides by minus 3. And that is it. Nothing but minus 3, not plus 3. So when you do that, your minus will remove your minus. Alright? Your 3 will remove 3 and you have x equals minus 3 will divide 9 to give you minus 3. Okay? So now x is equal to minus 3. Now let's check. If you say your x is 3, we have minus 3 brackets. Our x is 3. You can see that minus 3 times 3 will give you minus 9 and not 9. And that alone should tell you that you are wrong. Okay? So that is one of the common mistakes that they make. Now, if you want the second part of this video, kindly tell me on the comments, and I'm going to bring more common mistakes that students make and correct them here on my channel. Now, let us talk about one more common mistake. Okay? This may sound impossible, but trust me when I say it is 100% possible. You will tell a student 2 to the power of 3 multiplied by 2 to the power of 5. The student will say, oh, I remember. Yes, I was told that when you have the same base, you pick one base. The student will just pick one base. I say, okay, this is multiplication. So it's going to be 3 times 5. And this is 15. And the person is happy. She's happy or he is happy. Jumping up. Now, this is wrong. Yes. Now, by the rule of exponents or by exponential laws, what we're supposed to do is we pick one base. That one is correct. But you add the powers, not multiply. So we are going to add the powers to get 8. And that gives us 2 to the power of 8 as our answer. You can see the difference. All right. Now, some of them will go to the extent of 2 to the power of 3 plus 2 to the power of 5. They will still use the same law. They will say, oh, I remember the same base. I'll keep one base. They'll write 2. And then the powers, you add the powers. 3 plus 2, 8. And this is wrong. There is no law in in exponents that say when you have the same base and you are adding that you should do this. No, in fact, there is no law here. You just have to solve this 8 plus 2 to the power of 5, I think it's 32, add 8 to 32 and get your final answer. And that is the only way to solve this. Same thing goes for the division and so on. So I'm going to stop here for today. Like I said, if you want more of these videos, let me know on the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and